One last question. Is Pac still alive?
Nobody knows. That's Pac, man. He was the outlaw. And Reg from Holler Back is trying to be friendly and get order.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I would say this Pac, you never know.
With the Tupac case being reinvestigated by Las Vegas police, they found something very weird, which begins with news revealing that Tupac was an industry plant. He had the job of stopping the beef between the red and blue street teams.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Matulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
With the plan obviously not working, he suddenly passed. He was never truly about the street lifestyle. Even a famous writer who made a biography about Tupac claims he wasn't as tough as he portrayed. He was just playing a role, as he claimed that Tupac couldn't defend himself and didn't know how to use a firearm.
Because he died because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot. He wasn't that guy, but he started to believe it.
He method acted it.
100% method acted it.
When you compare this new information to a 2010 interview with a rapper named Tretch, things get weird. In 2010, Tretch was interviewed about Tupac before a show. Back in the day, Tupac and Tretch were close friends and worked on a couple albums together. But things got weird at the end of the interview when the cameraman forgot to stop recording. He pointed the camera at the ground and asked Tretch when he last saw Tupac.
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question. Is Pac still alive?
Nobody knows.
Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man.
Last time I saw him, he was in church.
The way he answered the question like it was normal made it seem weird. He was asked about his friend that had been gone for over a decade, but answered it like he saw him just last week. But 3 weeks later, after Tretch's interview, a video leaked of what looks to be Tupac in Cuba.
Zoom in. That's Pac, man. He was the outlaw. And Reg from Holler Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holler Back exclusive, baby. Holler Back.
This created the Tupac is alive in Cuba theory. To add to the suspicion of Tupac being alive, someone that was closest to him believes he's still alive. Suge Knight agrees that Tupac is alive and well. He said it multiple times in interviews across the last 2 decades. An interview from Knight makes a convincing case towards Tupac still being here. Tupac was apparently doing fine in the hospital before his passing, stating, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I would say this Pac, you never know.
But what's weird is Tupac was in a very deep sleep, according to the police. However, in a 2008 interview, he kept saying how Tupac was alive.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
What's scary is only 2 weeks after the interview, Suge Knight was targeted at a club where a man used a firearm at him multiple times. However, Knight was hesitant to tell the police anything. He feared it was because he spoke about Tupac still being alive in an interview just weeks prior. However, Knight's son, Suge Knight Jr., did the same thing. As he called out Tupac for being alive in an Instagram post stating he was living in Malaysia, Jr. then posted a conversation where someone messaged him, "You said too much. It's time for you to go." We would then see Knight's son post a list of photos of Tupac alongside modern-day celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce. On the pic with Tupac and Beyonce, he captioned it, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." While some believe this was all a publicity stunt for his son to gain clout, others believe it's real, because they would be the ones to know the most about Tupac's situation, considering Knight was there on the night of it happening and he managed a lot of his life and career. Although new evidence from investigators suggests Tupac used Diddy to help fake his passing. Police revealed, on November 18, 1995, Tupac was photographed with Diddy's baby mama, Sarah Chapman. Diddy described Sarah as being the one. She she's his dream girl. When she got with Tupac, Diddy didn't like it, as Tupac claimed that Diddy made an attempt on him back in the day but failed, as it was later swept under the rug.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in A Vision. I only got shot once because they found the bug. The police found him, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work.
With his first attempt being a failure, he tried again. In the Diddy trial, it was announced former cop claims Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million. Suge retaliated, having Biggie dealt with. They claimed Diddy hired Keefe D to organize the hit on Tupac. After 20 years of being free after the crime, Keefe D was finally arrested, as he did an interview without knowing he was being recorded and confessed that Diddy was the lead behind the crime.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
Shortly after that leaked to the public, Diddy was confronted on an interview about being responsible for Tupac's passing, which led to a very awkward moment.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
During the Diddy trial, he was questioned on his involvement. The news wrote, Diddy faces questions about his alleged role in Tupac's passing after being mentioned 77 times in a new legal filing. This would hit news headlines fast. Even 50 Cent reacted, as it states. 50 Cent says he doesn't like Diddy because he had Tupac gone.
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. I was like, last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. You saw that? Yeah! I gotta stop doing that. I've been talking to a therapist trying to help me with the I'm saying. I said crazy no reason. Oh wait, maybe I said it about Puffy because he got Tupac killed.
But when you investigate further in the police records, it proves Diddy didn't act alone, as a whole new person is being brought into the case when the news wrote. The reinvestigation of Tupac's passing is revealing new names and evidence of those involved. A new name brought up is Suge Knight, which is interesting when you hear what Eminem said years prior. I'm holding Suge responsible for the passing of the 2 greatest rappers to ever grace the face of this planet. If only the late Christopher Wallace could talk, he could tell you himself. I'm holding Suge responsible for the passing of Ja Rule or anyone else down with the row. As a new report revealed, Detective Russell Poole suspected that Knight arranged Tupac's passing before he could exit the label. He then framed the rival Blue team to throw off investigators, which raises the question of who's a famous Blue member Knight pinned the crime on. The most famous member is Snoop Dogg. He's known to be affiliated with the Blue team, and it gets more interesting when you find out he was supposed to be with Tupac on the night he passed.
With Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
As Snoop mentions, he was supposed to be in the BMW, but after last-minute changes, he didn't go. This was likely due to Snoop and Tupac having an altercation a few days prior.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
With this all happening within 72 hours of Tupac's passing, the police are suspicious. Because Snoop used to be tapped into the streets a lot more in the 90s, many speculate Snoop could have received a tip that Tupac was going to be targeted that night. Although another Snoop interview reveals that Snoop thought Tupac hated him.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of, and I forgave them. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like it. I want to do some music with them. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to me, out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
Although the evidence in the Diddy trial gave the courtroom chills, they detailed the night of how Tupac's passing happened. On September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Vegas with Suge Knight, and they went to the MGM Grand for a Mike Tyson match. Once it finished, they spotted their ops in the lobby.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Security broke up the altercation after a couple of minutes, but it's important to note these were the same men that would later take out Tupac. However, Tupac and Knight went to their hotel to change their clothes and prepared to party it up for the night. Around 11 p.m., they headed off for the club in the BMW, but once they came to a red light, they'd be caught in the middle of the street.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
After the incident being a mystery for over a decade, the police investigated a concerning interview by Keefe D on DJ Vlad's show. During the interview, it begins with him detailing the moments of finding Tupac and pulling up on him.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. He was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac?
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
Although he tried to place some blame on Tupac by saying he reached for a firearm, but that hasn't been confirmed.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
However, we finally saw the interrogation that Keefe D had with police on the night of the crime. They suspected Keefe D being involved for a long time, but never arrested him.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looked at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
in
of
the back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
During the police's investigation, they also found Keefe D's reaction to Tupac's passing, which shows his true emotions.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. Hate that happen. Probably to God. I feel they should, that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.